I'm curious. I know this interview is about me, but
Yeah, it is about you.
but I can never not ask you questions, no matter when we're doing this stuff. I'm curious if you could fast forward in your heart and your mind 1 year and just imagine everything that has happened. You're pouring your energy into everyone, the gratitude you're going to give to all this community, you know, tens of thousands of people that are going to be in person over the next few months, supporting you, seeing you. And make sure you guys, if you haven't bought the book, get his book right now as well. What do you think is going to be the lesson you're going to learn at the end of this year? If you could be in the future, what do you think your soul is going to tell you that is going to be the lesson and the thing for you to step into or let go of into the next year?
I think the lesson will be to, and everyone needs to do this, and it comes back to your point of season, is to live in the season that you have reached. And what I mean by that is that there was a different energy that it took to get here, and it will be a different energy to move forward. And I think it's really interesting because I think we often stay in the same energy state multiple years of our life because we got used to it or we got familiar with it. And then years go by before you realize you needed an energy shift. And I think when you see people who are burnt out, lost, or confused, or feel like they wasted time, it's because they never realized that they stayed in the same energy state that they were in when they started. And you have to accept that time has changed and life has moved on and you've learned new things and you've gained new clarity. And so I think that will be the lesson. And letting go, I think, will be, I feel like to get to this point, I had to do a lot of what I didn't love. And I think that should always get less and less and less. So I think a healthy life isn't one where you only do what you love, but it's a life where you do less and less of what you don't love. And so I feel like my life's always moving in that direction. And I think in a year from now, I have all the clarity and all the opportunity to start afresh, as opposed to continuing to just exist in the world of repeating what's been done. Yeah. If that makes sense.
It's good insight. Your future self is wise.
Yeah. Hopefully. And now I've got to live up to it. No, it's good. Well, this is a beautiful question. It's good you make me vocalize. And I hope everyone's getting to see how good Lewis is at what he does and what he does for himself too. No, the question like that's great because it gives me something to live up to that I aspire for, right? And it reminds me of that Matthew McConaughey speech.
Yeah, 10 years out.
I love
Chasing my
speech.
hero 10 years away.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's the Oscar speech. If anyone doesn't know, Dallas Buyers Club, he won the Oscar for Best Actor, and he gives one of the best speeches of all time, in my opinion. And yeah, it's that idea of just, it gives you something to chase, which is yours. It's you. It's not chasing and I love that, right? And I think the question you just asked is the question you're asking yourself, which is why your life is going in the right direction. Because the question isn't, where do you want to be in a year? What do you want to achieve? Because that starts to set, there's usefulness in that. I'm not saying it's not useful, but the internal question is far more gratifying. So you've given me something to chase and pursue.
It's awesome to have goals and dreams, but I think what's more important is focusing on the person you become on a consistent basis to create those dreams. And also being so proud and at peace of who you've become, even if the dreams don't come true. And there's been a lot of things that I've chased after where the dreams didn't come true.
Yeah.
But the life was a dream come true. Who I got to meet, what I got to experience, what I overcame, the lessons I learned, the memories I created. Certain dreams didn't come true, but it was a dream come true.
Totally. And I love that. I love that so much. That's such a powerful statement. And it's so true. I have so many projects that haven't worked out.
It didn't work out.
So many pitches. Even we went to some pitches together that you'd set up for me that didn't work out. But the network I built through that relationship building, the connections
who I
became,
the
skills I had to learn.
There's so many, there was a lot of things. I'll give an example. There was a lot of goals that I accomplished as an athlete that I was extremely proud of. And I was like, man, I set an intention for this goal 10 years prior and I made it happen. But there were certain goals, I wanted to be an Olympic athlete, right? And for 8.5 years, I played with the USA national team. and I never made the Olympics, right? And I haven't played with the team for about 3 years, since right before the pandemic. And I could look back and say, I spent 8.5 years of my life sacrificing, committing, dedicated, disciplined, traveling the world, spending time, money and energy, playing a game to represent the USA, to try to make the Olympics. And I failed it and I fell short. Or I can look at it as, man, what a life journey and experience I got to have for 8.5 years. I have so many great friends, memories. I traveled the world wearing USA across my chest, getting to play against Olympians as a 35, 6, 7-year-old. I was like, I didn't accomplish the dream, but it was still a dream come true. And I think when we look back on things that didn't work out, but find the meaning and the memory and the magic in those experiences, it's still an incredibly beautiful life.
The meaning, the memory, and the magic. I love that.